Hello and welcome. In this lecture, we are going to be adding a click event handler for each of the label. An event is something that occurs while the application is running. Example of an event could be a click. When you click a button, when you click a square, that is an event. For every event, there should be a corresponding event handler method that will create the function to respond to that event. This is how the game looks at the moment. All the icons are hidden. The way the game is going to work when the project is completed is that when a player chooses one of the squares, at the moment you can't see the icons because they are all hidden. So the plan is that a player would choose one of the squares with a hidden icon, and then what happens, the program briefly displays the icon to the player by changing the icon color to black, and then it lets the player chooses another hidden icon, and then it reveals the icon. If they match, both icons remain visible. If they don't match, they're again hidden. So the process starts until you get matching icons. So to achieve that, we need to add a click event handler that changes the color of the label that has been chosen. So let's add a click event handler. So go into your design of the form and click on any label. I'll click on the first one, and in the property, make sure it shows label, and then click on this here. Make sure you've got the light in bold clicked. It should say events, and there are different events. The event we are interested in is the click event. So what we're going to do, we are actually going to give it a name, because if we don't give it a name, it will just assume the name of label one, blah, 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 click. So let's give it a name. So I'm going to call it label underscore click. It's always good to name your events, if possible, relevant to what they do. All right, once you've done that, just press enter on your keyboard and Visual Studio will generate a stub of the event handler. Okay, so there you go. It has generated a stub meaning an empty method. We've not written the method that will drive this event handler. All right, so you can see the mouse cursor flashing. So we have to write the method between these two curly braces. So what I've done here, we've got the event handler here just for one label. So what the plan here is to replicate that to all the labels. So the easiest way to do that would be to copy this event handler method, just copy it here. So I'm going to copy this event here I've just created here, this method, and copy it to all the labels. So the way we'll do that, we've already got it on the first one. So I just click on the first one, hold down Control on my keyboard and select all the other ones. So I just select, make sure they're all selected. You can see the black dots, which indicates they're selected, and then come here and paste in that method. And that method will now be embedded in all of them. So if I click on the first one, you can see the label. Click on the second. If I click on this, you can see. So they will all be sharing any of the code we're writing here will work for all the labels. So I'm going to write the code for this event handler inside here between these curly braces, and I'll explain it to you. So this is the code I have added on to respond to any event click. All right, so let me run through the code with you from line 50 here. So here we've got a class called label, and we've given it a local variable called click label, and we've also set it to equals to the sender as label. Because we have hooked up all the label controls to this single event handler, it doesn't matter what label the user clicks on, the code will work for all the labels. Okay, so but however, the event handler, this event handler here, needs to know which label was chosen. So to do that, it uses the sender. Okay, it uses this sender to identify the label control that was clicked. So this line here tells the program that this is a label control and uses the name of clicked label to access the label's properties and methods. So this sender as label is used to identify which label was clicked on. Here on line 51, we've got an if statement. All right. So the if statement checks whether the clicked label, the label that has been clicked, it checks to see if the label has been converted from an object to a label control. If it's unsuccessful, it has a value of null, which means empty. If it's not successful, that means the value is empty. Null means empty, or it means nothing. So if that happens, nothing will happen. The code will not run. It would not execute. So the next thing, then we've got this if statement here. What the if statement, what it checks to see if the label that has been chosen has the text color. It checks the label's text color by using the for-color property. If the label's text color is black, what that means is that the icon has already been chosen and the method is done. Okay, so that's what the return statement means. This return here, that's what the return statement means. The return statement tells the program to stop executing the code because that label has already been, or the icon has already been chosen. But if the icon has not been chosen, the program changes the label's text color to black. That's what this piece of code here is saying. So let's save the code and let's check this out. So click start to start debugging. Wait for the application to run. So let's check it out. So we'll click one. You can see the icon is showing now. Click another. It's showing. Okay. All right. So the code is working as designed. So the event handler is enabling us to activate each of these icons via the click event. So that's it for this lecture. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.